What is inner child therapy? Does it mean that you work with children? I'm Riri Trivedi. I'm a psychotherapist, a trainer, and a parenting coach. And today I'm going to talk about what is this concept of inner child that a lot of people are now talking about today, and how can it help you? So inner child is, first of all, not literally a child that we are working at, but inner child is that part of our adult self that is holding certain past negative experiences or certain disempowering beliefs or certain traumas that are coming from childhood. So the inner child is a personification or a term given to that part of our energy or consciousness that is stuck in certain negative or painful childhood experiences. It could be physical abuse, emotional abuse, sexual abuse, neglect, or it could be certain childhood decisions that were made. Decisions like I'm not good enough, I don't deserve to be happy, nobody will marry me, or money is not easy to get, or I should always shout in order to be heard, kind of decisions. And inner child is essentially not necessarily literally a child, but it is that program, it is that file, or it is that part of your consciousness that is stuck in some of these experiences or some of these negative or disempowering decisions. And most of the time it is traced back to childhood, because in childhood our rational logical mind is not fully developed. So whatever experiences we go through, we internalize them literally. We do not have much of rational understanding about that, and hence whatever we go through as children has a much bigger impact on us than what we go through as adults. Inner child therapy usually helps when clients come with a lot of issues that are related to their behaviors or their relationships with others or with themselves. So we use inner child modality for practically all kinds of mental health issues that clients come with. It could be anger, anxiety, depression, or even things like, I can't handle my money well, or I am all constantly insecure about my business, or I have body image issues, or I have a difficult relationship with my husband. Because most of these external adult behaviors do have a root in some or the other program or experience that person went through as a child. As a child, when we go through some experiences which are very emotionally charged or we call as traumatic, they form very deep impressions. And sometimes in order to cope up with those experiences, we create certain behavior patterns or belief systems which become our coping mechanisms. And oftentimes we have carried those coping behaviors for so many years that becomes our personality. For example, somebody who is always likes to please others, who has a very, very people-pleasing personality, it is usually a coping structure for a child who has felt unloved, unwanted, not noticed, or ignored, or not important, and the child has learned that the only way I am important and valid is by keeping others happy. Another very common coping structure is a person who always shows anger and aggressiveness, and usually behind that anger and aggressiveness is always an inner child who is extremely insecure, scared, unsafe, or feeling out of control. And in order to now cope up with that insecurity, fear, the child now learns that I have to show external anger and aggressiveness so that I don't remain insecure. Even controlling behaviors, adults who have OCDs or controlling behaviors, usually there is an inner child who is either feeling completely insecure, scared, out of control because the environment is very unsafe and unpredictable. And when the environment of a child is unsafe and unpredictable, the child feels out of control. And remember that control is safety. So to cope up with that unsafe and fearful feeling, the child will now try to learn to control whatever he or she can, which may as an adult then lead to a lot of compulsive behaviors or controlling behaviors, just to feel that I'm in charge or I'm in control of things, so that you don't have to feel fearful and out of control. So for most of the adult issues, if we probe good enough, if we probe correctly, and if we really go into the depth, spend time with the client and understand the childhood environment, for most of the times you'll recognize these patterns coming from childhood experiences. more on inner child in the next video. Do let me know if you like this video, if that gave you some insights about your own adult behaviors that may be coming from your childhood, and let me know what are the other different inner child topics that you want me to talk about and make videos on, because I would love to read them and I would love to share all my knowledge and understanding and experience in this area with all of you.